You know that feeling when you're in a high pressure situation? Maybe it's your kid screaming, or you're in a negotiation at work and it's just not going very well. And maybe somebody says something rude or they start to act a certain way. You feel your nervous system getting a little bit out of whack. Your logical brain is saying, stay calm. You know that you're supposed to stay calm, but you just don't. You react. Maybe you freeze or you do something very reactive. You do something that you didn't like doing. Maybe you might regret later. Well, this is something that everybody can identify with because almost everybody has experienced this. And the thing is, willpower is slow, but your nervous system is fast. So by the time you logically realize that you need to calm down, your amygdala has already taken over and your brain is already kind of out of whack. Your nervous system's out of whack. And this is what happens. This is why we have fight or flight response. So there is something in NLP, which is neuro linguistic programming, called anchoring. And this can help you reverse the effect of your nervous system getting out of whack in a stressful moment. Now, it's not something that will fix every situation that you've ever experienced, but it is something that can help you as you work through the deeper issues of how you react to certain things. Now, there's a lot of work that goes into restructuring your map, which is part of NLP, but anchoring is a good way to have a tool that can help you on your path. So, anchoring isn't magic. It is based on our biology. You've probably already anchored things without even realizing it. For example, when you see a red light, your foot hits the brake. That's kind of like an anchor. It's a response. When you hear a certain song, you might feel nostalgic. That's kind of like an anchor. Now, I say kind of like an anchor because there's anchors that we make in NLP. There's also anchors that just happen naturally, and they're based on the Pavlovian experiments. If you remember Pavlov, who was a psychologist, he had the old unconditioned and conditioned responses. If you've ever looked into Pavlov, basically there was the old experiments of the ringing of the bell when serving dog food to a dog, and then the dog would start to have their saliva flow from the food, but eventually they associated just ringing the bell with their saliva flowing. So that's the old Pavlov experiments. You can go look it up. I don't want to spend a bunch of time on it. But basically, we can have conditional and unconditional responses that come from our exposure to things. We start to internalize those into our map of reality. Well, this is something that we can work with in anchoring for NLP. So think about this. We are going to make an anchor for confidence right now. And this anchor for confidence is going to be an anchor that you can use. So what I want you to do is choose something physical that you don't do very often. So I like to use this motion where I take my left hand and I squeeze my left pinky to my left thumb, because this is not really a motion that I make often. Like, this isn't like a typical motion. So that's what we're going to use for this. Now, what I want you to do is close your eyes and go back to a specific time in your life when you just felt unstoppable, right? You felt super confident. It could be just something that you remember. It could be maybe closing a big deal in business, winning a trade if you were a day trader. It could be a moment that you had in sports. It could be like a time that you competed in something. It could be a time that you did something hard, like a public speaking event. You did really well. Anything that comes to mind. It could be becoming a father. There's a lot of things that I'm sure there's some time that you can remember a time where you felt very confident and pretty much unstoppable and amazing. Find that time. And what I want you to do is get ready, because when you have that time, we're going to do an anchor process. And the anchor process is going to be that as we think about it, we are going to hold that position with our pinky and our thumb for 5 to 15 seconds during the peak of the feeling that we have. So that, just be ready for that part of it. Now, by the way, I have a much more advanced version of this available for free if you join my school community. The link is below in the description. So check that out, because I have a version of this that's even more powerful than what I'm showing here. And it's like a whole process that you can use every single morning even to build this feeling. All right, so let's get back into this. So picture that memory. Now, I want you to really really step into it and see what you saw, hear what you heard, and feel everything that you felt in that moment. Really feel that experience. Now, as the feeling gets stronger and stronger, right before it hits its peak, I want you to squeeze the thumb and the left finger together and hold it for anywhere from like 5 to 15 seconds. You're going to release it as you start to feel the feeling start to dwindle. So right after the peak, you're going to hold it. And as you feel the feeling dwindle, you're going to let go. So you're going to squeeze it, hold it through the peak. As it dwindles, you're going to let go. This is called breaking the state. You're going to break state, and then you're going to, open your eyes, shake it off, and now just test it. Just think about something different, and now do that motion with your finger and your thumb and see if you feel the change in your body. You should feel the change and feel that confidence come on. If you don't, go back and repeat the process again and then test it again after. Now, once you do this, what I want you to do is, to make sure it worked, picture something where you're going to want that confidence coming up. Maybe some sort of challenging event that you have coming up. And then do that, like close your eyes and actually visualize it. And then do that feeling between your pinky and your thumb and see what you feel. See if you feel the confidence as you're about to approach that. Now, I use this a lot as a trader. I would use not just that feeling, but I'd keep objects around me. I have one right here. This object, right? This is just like a stone that I would use. I would hold this stone in my hand, in my left hand, when I was day trading, as a way to build that confidence. Now, I don't need to use the anchoring anymore because I've done the actual work to just have the confidence now. But this was a good shortcut as I worked on building the confidence and doing all the other NLP techniques that have got me to where I am now. But this was a really important thing that helped me get there. Now, a lot of people use this for things like public speaking, stuff like that. It can be very, very useful. I teach this strategy to day traders quite a bit, how they can use this, because it works really well for day traders to then build the confidence that they need for entering trades, not hesitating, not moving their stop loss, and all that sort of stuff. It can be really, really useful for trading. It's useful for so many contexts, though. You can use this for how to deal with conflict, workplace stuff, public speaking. There's so many uses. There's so many. You can even use this in your parenting as a way to stay calm in your parenting and stay firm and calm in your parenting with your children so that you behave the way that you really want to behave. Now, I have the daily grounding audio and all this. It's in the school community. Again, it's at the link in the description. So definitely come check it out, and I will see you in the community.